Hello everyone and welcome to Rollin'-ish. I'm Matt, and in this video we're going to focus on the Wizard Arcane Traditions, the School of Evocation and the School of Illusion. These are two options that you get to choose from at second level when choosing your subclass, known as the Arcane Traditions. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out our Intro to Wizard video. This is going to show you all the things that all wizards get. But we also have a few videos that break down these arcane traditions, so check them out too. These are the Schools of Abjuration and Conjuration, a video on the Schools of Divination and Enchantment, this video on the Schools of Evocation and Illusion, and our next video, the Schools of Necromancy and Transmutation. Check those out. They're all great options as you look to build your wizard. So let's jump into the School of Evocation. Evokers are going to be those that are going to use their magic in more of like a militant force. If you're looking to play a combat-focused wizard, an Evoker is a great option because they have some of the hardest hitting spells in the game, such as everybody's favorite, the third level Evocation spell, Fireball. And we'll get to that in a moment. But first, what do you get when you choose the School of Evocation at second level? First, like the other classes, you become a savant. That just means that anytime you find a wizard spell book or you find spell scrolls during your adventuring and you want to copy that spell you found into your spell book as a spell you'd know, normally it would cost you 2 hours and 50 gold per level of spell to learn and copy that spell into your spell book. This is the game's way of factoring in the amount of time it takes to learn the incantations and the somatic gestures, practice them, know them well enough to be able to prepare them, and then of course the gold factors in when purchasing the material components to practice and learn that spell as part of the copying process. They've thought of all that stuff and put it into the game, and that's typically how it would work when you find a spell and want to copy it. When you're a savant, if you come across evocation spells in that book or scroll, the amount of time is reduced by half, so it would take you an hour, and the gold is reduced by half, so 25 gold per level of spell to learn that spell. You also get access to a feature called Sculpt Spell, and this is important. I've seen some playthroughs where the DM and the player both don't really factor in their party members in the area of effect. And maybe this is due to some homebrew rule, and that is okay. I'm a very big advocate for homebrew rules. But if you're going to look at something the way that it's written, your teammates should probably be taking some damage. Allow me to explain. When you cast an evocation spell that affects other creatures that you can see, such as casting Fireball, which is a 20-foot radius spell, you could be having teammates or NPCs in that area of effect. What Sculpt Spell does is allows you to choose a number of them equal to 1 plus the spell's level. That many people can automatically succeed on their saving throw. Normally, they would take half damage, but they instead take no damage if they would normally take half on a success. So not only are you allowing to choose your party members or NPCs that you want to keep safe, they automatically succeed and they take no damage instead of half. But you can only count 1 plus the spell's level number of people in that area of effect to keep safe. Otherwise, they probably should be taking some damage. This is great. You can fireball away and not have to worry about hurting your teammates as long as this number doesn't exceed the amount of people in that radius. All right, the next feature you get is at 6th level, and it is called Potent Cantrip. What this does is it allows when a creature succeeds on a saving throw against your cantrip, the creature takes half the cantrip's damage, if any, but suffers no additional effects from the cantrip. So if something was maybe damage and being poisoned, or damage and being blinded, or some other kind of effect, your cantrip is still going to remain powerful by dealing that half damage when they succeed, but the other effects won't apply to them. So this will help from, some of those cantrip spells that are all or nothing. They'll at least take half. Okay. Next, you get a feature called Empowered Evocation. You get that at 10th level and allows you to add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of any wizard evocation spell you cast. So, in the instances like Lightning Bolt or Fireball, both are 8d6, imagine being able to add your intelligence modifier to that damage. And if you're a good wizard, your modifier is probably a +4 or a +5. So that's some free damage output that you can add and stack to that. I'm all about that. Love that feature. Next is Overchannel, and this one can get tricky if you abuse it. So this kind of helps the DM, I think, a little bit, but it's also cool for the player. What Overchannel does is, if you cast a wizard spell of 1st through 5th level that deals damage, you can deal max damage with that spell instead of having to roll it. So again, let's continue to use Fireball. That's 8d6 at the base 3rd level casting of that spell. Typically, you're doing somewhere between 22 and 26 on average damage out of 8d6. This is giving you the full damage, 48. Yeah, I'll take 48 damage on a 3rd level spell, please and thank you, right? Or even something low level like Chromatic Orb, which does 3d8 damage at 1st level. I'll take 24 points of damage on a 1st level spell. Give me that all day. You can use that feature once and you don't suffer any adverse effect. But the reason it's called Overchannel is because if you use it again before finishing a long rest, you're going to take 2d6 necrotic damage for each level of that spell immediately after you cast it. You are a wizard. You're squishy. You do not have a lot of hit points. If you're casting a 3rd level spell and you're taking 2d12 per level, that's 6d12 damage. That could kill you. Potentially. And if you use it a 3rd time or each time after the 2nd time you do it, that damage is going to increase by 1d12 per level. So don't abuse this or you'll die. But it's a really cool feature to be able to take a spell and max damage it, especially when you're in one of those fights. You know what I'm talking about, wizards, where you're like, oh man, we just cannot hit this thing. Okay, well, when you do hit it with something big, use Overchannel and max damage that, because the first time you do it, you suffer no ill effects. All right, that is Evocation, my friends. You evokers are going to love that. Have fun building that. School of Illusion is next. It is what it sounds like. These are benign tricksters, people who are going to make illusions want to seem real, to frighten or fool someone. You could really make yourself up to be a master of deception and really lean into that. That would be a fun way to handle it. Like any other school of magic, you become a savant when you choose it at 2nd level. So like I described before, if you come across a mage's spellbook or you find some spell scrolls and they happen to be illusion spells, you can learn them with half the time and half the cost. So an hour and 25 gold per level of spell it would cost you to learn that spell. Anything else would be 2 hours and 50 gold per level of spell. So you got a discount on the School of Magic that you're already belonging to. Now, again, that doesn't mean you can only choose illusion spells, but most of your spells should probably be illusion spells. It would make sense for your character. All right. Also at 2nd level, you get something called Improved Minor Illusion. What's cool about this is if you don't already have Minor Illusion chosen as a cantrip that you know, you get it as a freebie. So here's the thing. Don't pick it at 1st level, knowing that you're going to get it for free and not count against the number of cantrips known. So again, a true freebie. You get that here. In addition, when you cast that spell, when you read it, it says you either make a noise or you make an image. Having Improved Minor Illusion, it says right here that you can do both a sound and an image. Now, if you're going to do something like that at my table and specifically call it out, hey, Matt, I have Improved Minor Illusion, I'm going to create an illusion of this dog, and it's going to be growling at the person at the door, on the other side of the door. All right, so now I made it visible if they look through the keyhole, right? And they hear it growling. I can do both. I'm probably going to give that wizard advantage on whatever skill check I might have to tie to that scene, right? Like a deception check, or maybe they're talking through the door and try and convince them to unlock it on the other side. All right, I'm going to make a persuasion check with advantage because you got this dog growling at them, right? Like whatever that is, at my table, that's how I would utilize that. If you're going to call it out and use your thing, I'm probably going to give you advantage on that as long as you describe it well enough. All right. Malleable illusions. At 6th level, when you cast an illusion spell that has a duration of 1 minute or longer, you can use your action to change the nature of that illusion. Still got to use the original illusion's parameters, provided that you can see it. So maybe I made a dog and it was, they don't see it through the wall, but the only sound they've got is the growling. All right, I might change the nature of it. Maybe it's barking now, or maybe it's happily wagging its tail. Like, I can change things about the illusion without changing the illusion. I'm not going to go from dog to pirate, right? That's a different casting of the spell. I can change the nature of that illusion using the original parameters. That's what that's talking about. All right, at 10th level, illusionary self. I can create an illusionary duplicate of myself as an instant, almost instinctual reaction to danger. So what that means is, when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to, I pop an illusion in front of me, and that attack is automatically going to miss, but then that illusion disappears. So maybe you make it like an illusion of your mom, and she's protecting you, and as she wraps you in the hug, the damage hits her, you're not hurt at all, and then she disappears. What a loving way to use that illusion in a nice role play moment, right? Something like that. Maybe your pet dog as a kid, you pops into your mind, and it leaps in front of the spell or the ammo, whatever, and it takes the blunt, and as soon as it hits the ground, it disappears. It's like, whoa! That is beautiful. Beautiful way to do that. All right. I know it says illusionary duplicate of yourself, but if you're going to flavor it to like your favorite dog or your mom wrapping her arms around you in a hug to protect you, I'm totally going to allow that to happen. Just saying. I bring it up because it's happened. All right. Illusionary reality at 14th level. When you cast an illusion spell of 1st level or higher, you can choose one inanimate, non-magical object that's part of the illusion and make that object real. You can do this on your turn as a bonus action while the spell is still ongoing. The object remains real for 1 minute. Here's a great example. They put it right in the book. You create an illusion of a bridge over a chasm, and then you make it real long enough for your allies to get across. That's beautiful, right? Maybe you make an illusion of a ladder that you really need. Now it's real for 1 minute. Use it, right? Maybe you're weaponless in a situation and you want to be able to use leverage to intimidate. All right, make an illusion of a huge weapon and pick it up. Can't use it, can't swing it, but you just want it visible in a threatening manner, right? It's just an illusion. It would be real. Weapons you can't use, right? Because it says the object can't deal damage or harm anyone. I'm not swinging it. I'm just showing it to be intimidating. That's cool. That's some flavor. All right, illusionists. That's good stuff for you to use if you choose this school and you want to play that kind of wizard. Again, thank you for tuning in. Like and follow. Throw some comments in. Check out our link tree. Visit our TikTok. Visit our Instagram, and come right back here for the next video when we talk about the schools of necromancy and transmutation. Until then, wizards, have fun rolling those dice, and we'll see you at the table.